Hey everyone, this is Chris Barnes from East Brunswick Public Library. We're having another episode of our podcast, Read, Watch, Listen, where we talk to people at the library and in the community about what they've been reading, watching, and listening. And at the end, you can find out where you can get them. Today, we have a special guest. This is one of my coworkers. Her name is Samantha Michael. She is the IT supervisor here at East Brunswick Public Library. Samantha, how's it going today?
Oh, it's going great today. Thank you for having me on the show.
So what kind of information technology fun do you get to work on here at East Brunswick Public Library?
So it's a small environment, and I get to work on firewalls, servers, switches. So this library has a lot of IT stuff going on, so every day is interesting.
Samantha is one of those very important employees here at the library because she works constantly so you can come to the library. So if it wasn't for Samantha, you couldn't have as much fun at the library. She keeps all our systems running. So the fact that you don't get to see Samantha too often is always a good sign because that means everything is running smooth. But enough talk about computers and networking and cables. We're here to talk about what you've been enjoying here. So it's called Read, Watch, Listen, and we're going to ask you what you've been reading, watching, and listening. So let's start out with the R1. Samantha, what have you been reading lately?
So I really like the book Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk.
Oh, Palahniuk, the Fight Club guy?
Yeah, the Fight Club guy.
Yeah. He felt like he was all over bookstores after that movie came out, and reasonably so. I mean, it did gangbusters in theaters. Not so much, I think, on the first release, but like when it was on syndication and video and home. But it felt like in the early 2000s that like he had a new book that came out every 6 months.
Yeah, Fight Club, the movie, is actually why I started reading some of his books. And I liked Invisible Monsters because it's basically about a supermodel who's like disfigured. And it's really interesting because all the characters are not good people. And just seeing how they progress through the story.
That seems to be a space that he likes to write in. Like, there's nobody who's truly a hero or a good person, but just watching them kind of either find their way or does this end into complete awfulness.
Yes, and I feel like that's what makes his books so fun to read.
And how do I say this? It's not insulting for Sam or anybody who reads them, because I've read a lot of this stuff too, but they're really easy reads.
Yeah.
Like, you can get through it very quickly. It's very straightforward. I mean, yes, there's a lot of symbolism and that on it, but it's not a difficult brain-powered thing that requires a lot of effort and thought.
Yeah, and for me, I love reading, but sometimes when I get out of work, I just want something that's easy to consume.
No, I totally understand that. And he writes in a way that it's so scandalous at times that you just keep reading through it, that you don't want to stop it.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
It does, 100%.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, I guess that's a good segue to the W for watch. So what have you been watching lately? Could be television, a movie?
So recently, I've been rewatching Ugly Betty just for the nostalgia of it. And I do relate to the character because I'm kind of dorky.
Yeah, I think that might be a theme of early 2000s for you, Samantha, because Ugly Betty, it's huge. Also had a really good cast. Is there anything else that you've been watching lately?
So I've been watching mostly anime. There's an anime that came out recently called Mashle. It's a fun anime because it's a magical world, but he can't use magic. So the things he's supposed to for school is through his sheer strengths. And it's a really funny anime. You guys should check it out.
That does sound kind of funny. If you're stuck in a magic academy, you have no magic casting spells or ability.
And I watch it with my nephew. He loves it. So it's really funny.
So we got your TV picks, Ugly Betty, Marshall, and the last one is The Elf. So Samantha, what have you been listening to lately? A show, a podcast, an album? What's on your headphones these days?
So these days, it's System of a Down.
Very cool.
Yeah, I love System of a Down. They're my favorite band.
Well, you got to see them live yet?
Not yet.
Well, they are going on tour this summer, so make sure you get your tickets.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've been following it, but we haven't bought the tickets yet. Maybe my husband will surprise me with them. Who knows?
Well, they're playing a lot of one-off weekend shows. So, Mr. Samantha, if you're listening, you'd have lots of opportunities to get tickets. You've been turning to a long weekend, a travel vacation. A lot of options out there, big guy.
Yeah. Hopefully he hears this.
You better. So what's your favorite song of theirs, or what would you recommend to listen to, someone's hearing them for the first time?
Well, my favorite song from them is BYOB. And I also like old school Hollywood, even though a lot of people hate that song. I think it's catchy.
It is catchy, and it shows they just make aggressive, fast music like they do with lots of cartoony voices, and it's sing-alongable, if that's even a word. So
yeah,
that's a big choice. So what else are you listening to these days?
So these days, I'm also listening to early 2000s dance mixes on Spotify.
Like the bass System of a Down, the Ugly Betty.
Yeah.
Up Flawed yet? It's 2005 in Samantha's head right now, but not our network. So really, what's on your top dance mix playlist?
I like Sandstorm, which is funny. Yeah, I love that song. And you know how like early 2000s fashion is coming back, and a lot of the younger kids are wearing things that we used to wear when we were younger.
Well, that makes sense. There's a lot of nostalgia and that you can buy into it and you know what they're talking about. So that's pretty cool. I totally get it.
Yeah, so I guess there is like a part of me that sees that and it's just like, hey, I just want to remember the good times.
No further questions, Your Honor. Samantha, I'm going to let you get going back to work because we have a network that requires a lot of work. So, Samantha, thank you for taking some time out of your day to help us with some library recommendations. Check the show notes and we'll put links to what's in our catalog so you can borrow it. For more East Brunswick Public Library podcasts, go to our website, www.ebpl.org/podcast. I'm Chris Barnes. Thanks for listening, and shout out as always to Melissa Hosick, our producer. Thanks, and see you at the library.